Okay, guys. So today we're going to continue working on the writing section. Yesterday we finished looking at the first question of the writing section, right? We did the integrated writing. And now we're going to be doing, the second writing question. Okay, guys, remember we said in the writing section we have a total of 2 questions. The first is the integrated writing, the one that we finished yesterday, where you had to read a passage, then listen to a lecture, and then finally write an essay about that. And now we're going to be looking at the second part of the writing, which is the writing for an academic discussion. Okay, guys? So, do you have any questions before we start today's class? Is everything okay so far? Remember, we're looking at the second question of the writing section now, writing for an academic discussion. Okay, guys. So here's what you're going to have to do for this question. What's coming up? Okay. Okay, guys. So when you're in this question, your screen, something like this. Basically, you need to imagine that you guys are taking an online class, that you're in a university and you're taking an online class. Okay, guys? So this right here is going to be your professor. In this case, your professor is Dr. Jones. And you are on a political science class. Okay, guys? Now, basically, what you have to do for this question is Dr. Jones, your professor, will raise a question. The question that the professor raises is always going to be at the end of this part, after the professor's introduction. So the professor raises a question. It's an open question. It's a question that's up for debate, a debatable question, una pregunta que se puede debatir. And the professor is asking the students, including you, to answer that question by giving your opinions about that. And on the right, you guys can see the answers or the posts of 2 of your classmates to the same question. And what you guys have to do is you need to write your own post, your own answer to this question, considering everything that's mentioned in the text. Okay, guys? So let's read the instructions, shall we? Maybe, Chris, do you mind reading the instructions, please? These are the instructions, the one on the top left corner here.
Hi. Okay. Your professor is teaching a class on political science. Write a post responding to the professor's question. In your response, you should express and support your personal opinion. Make a contribution to the discussion in your own words. An effective response will contain at least 100 words. You have 10 minutes to complete this task.
All right, thank you so much, Chris. So yes, those are the instructions. As it says in the instructions, this is your professor and you're part of an online class. Now it says write a post responding to the professor's question. This is the professor's question. In your response, you guys need to talk about your opinion. You need to express your opinion, say what you think, and explain why you feel that way. You need to support your opinion. But not only that, not only is it that you have to just talk about yourself and what you think, you need to also be a part of the discussion. You need to make a contribution to the discussion in your own words. So that means that you need to be part of this discussion that's going on here. It says an effective response will contain at least 100 words. So we're going to be aiming for 150, 140. That's a good number of words. And it says that you have 10 minutes to complete this task. So you have 10 minutes to do everything. 10 minutes to read the professor's introduction and the professor's question. 10 minutes to read your students' posts. 10 minutes to read your classmates' posts. And for you to write your own post. Okay, so to be honest, even though this is not that long, you don't have a lot of time either. Okay, guys? So do you guys understand the format? Do you see what you have to do? Any questions about this so far? Okay, guys. My first tip is going to be, please don't waste your time reading everything carefully. No pierdan el tiempo leyendo todo. Las instrucciones siempre son las mismas, por lo que no necesitan leer, aunque se los van a leer para ustedes. Pero mientras están haciendo eso, ya pueden ir viendo otras cosas. Otra cosa que no deben leer es toda la parte introductoria del docente. Todo esto no es útil. Lo que sí tienen que leer es la última oración, que siempre es una pregunta, que encuentran donde está la introducción del docente. Here. We're going to underline it. And maybe, Mateo, do you mind reading this underlined question?
Okay, teacher. If you had to choose between prioritizing economic growth or protecting the environment, which one would you pick? Why?
Thank you. That's all you guys have to read, the question that's at the end. As I told you, it's an open, debatable question. You have two options. You can choose to prioritize economic growth, or you can choose to prioritize the environment. Well, it's up to you what you say. But before you start writing, you also have to take a look at what your classmates are saying. Now, you do not have to read everything, but you need to try to understand at least each classmate's opinion. So you need to ask yourself, what is Susan's opinion? What is Alex's opinion? What are the responses to this question? What would they prioritize? And you need to at least look for some of the reasons that they give. Don't focus on any details. I'm not telling you to read everything carefully, but to scan the text. Solamente escanear. Por ejemplo, en Susan diríamos, I would prioritize the environment. We only have one planet alive, one planet, and if we don't take care of it, we won't have pleasant lives in the future. Luego ya empieza a contradecir, ¿no? Hablar de economic growth. Ya no necesitaríamos leer nada de eso. Escanear el texto rápidamente, a ver si encontramos algo más importante, pero ya nos tenemos una idea, ¿no? What is Susan's response? What is Susan's opinion in this case? What would she prioritize?
Teacher, she would prioritize to protect the environment.
Exactly. She
She
would
said
prioritize.
one word.
Thank you. And what is her reason?
She says the reason is because of we only have one planet and we have to take care of this planet.
Exactly. That's it. What about Alex? What is Alex's opinion?
That is more important to think about economic growth because it's the only way we can solve social problems and economic problems.
Thank you so much, Mateo. Perfect. That's it. That's all you actually need. You need to read Susan's post, but scan it, look at what she says, and same thing for Alex. All of the time, Susan and Alex, or your two classmates, because they have different names, they will never agree. They will always have differing opinions. Okay, guys? And that's it. That should take you about 2 minutes at most, I would say. So you have 8 minutes to write your response. Do you have any questions so far? Okay, guys. So now let's actually take a look at what you have to do, what it is that you need to write in your responses. We're going to be using a template, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to say in each part of the template, in each sentence of your response. So here's a template. Okay? Basically, in your response, you guys need 7 different elements. Necesitan 7 elementos, que no necesariamente son 7 oraciones, okay? Sino 7 elementos. Now, the first element, and this is going to be the first sentence, it serves like a sort of like an introduction. It serves like an introduction. And in this first sentence, what you guys need to do is you need to agree with one of the students. Technically, you guys can do whatever you want. Técnicamente pueden responder de la manera en la que quieran. You can say that you agree with Alex, you can say that you agree with Susan, you can say that you don't agree with either, you can say that you think that both are right, you can say that maybe both need to be prioritized. So you can technically have whatever opinion you want as long as it's related. However, my personal suggestion is going to be to always agree with one student. Siempre estén de acuerdo con uno de los estudiantes. Siempre escojan una opinión que completamente apoye a uno de los estudiantes. No vayan por algo del medio, tiene que estar completamente extremo. ¿No? You guys have to go for the extremes. You need to strongly agree with one of the students. That is really important because that makes things easier for you. So you will have a very structured response, and it's easier to think of things to say when you guys agree with one of the students. Okay, so that's my suggestion. Try to see if it works for you, but I definitely guarantee that it's the best thing you guys can. So in this first sentence, you're going to say which student do you agree with. So what would you guys say? Do we say that we agree with Susan, that we should prioritize the environment? Or do we say that we agree with Alex and we should prioritize economic growth? What would you guys say we should write about?
We agree with Alex.
We agree with Alex. Okay, perfect. So we should prioritize economic growth. In that case, if we agree with Alex, Alex is going to become our student A. We're going to call him student A. And Susan will be student B. So we're going to say, I strongly or I completely support Alex's opinion. Okay, that's your introduction. That's all you guys need to do. Put the name of the student and the possessor. Now, as a second element, you guys need to try to summarize student A's main point. And we already did this when we were reading, remember? So you guys, Mateo was saying, Alex says that we should prioritize the environment because that's the only way we're going to solve social and economic problems, right? So we're going to repeat that, but we're going to paraphrase it and summarize it. This second element can only be one clause. Solamente puede ser una cláusula, una idea sin ningún conector. Y lo que vamos a hacer es decir, además del hecho de que, y ahora mencionamos lo que dijo Alex, además de que priorizando el crecimiento económico es la única manera de resolver los problemas económicos y sociales. Y luego, en el punto 3, ustedes van a añadir su propia razón. So first you're going to summarize Alex's reason, and then you will add your own reason. So besides the fact that, and we're going to say, besides the fact that, let's say, economic growth is the only path to solving serious economic and social issues. That is what Alex said, right? The only way, the only path to solving economic, let's say to solving the serious social and economic issues we are facing, let's say we're currently facing. So look at this, it's just one clause, right? I'm not adding any connectors. Este and no es un conector en este caso porque no está uniendo otra idea, ¿no? No tenemos otro sujeto, sino está uniendo simplemente nouns, sustantivos. Entonces, esa es la idea. Primero resumimos y parafraseamos lo que ya dijo el estudiante al que apoyamos. So besides the fact that economic growth is the only path to solving the serious social and economic issues that we're facing, and now you guys need to add your own reason. So you need to think of one reason, aside from the one that Alex already mentioned, why we should prioritize economic growth. Now, careful with this reason. Tengan mucho cuidado aquí, porque un error muy común y muy serio es repetir las mismas ideas que ya han sido mencionadas. No pueden repetir porque si estuviesen repitiendo no contribuirían a la discusión, right? So if you guys actually repeated what they already said, then you're not adding anything new. You're not contributing to the discussion, which is what they explicitly asked you to do. So you guys need to add one entirely different reason of your own. What reason can we give? So besides the fact that economic growth helps solving these issues, why else should we prioritize economic growth? What do you guys think? Any ideas? Come on, guys. Who said economic growth?
It could be that economic worth gives us more ideas and more reasons to improve global factors.
Okay, to improve global factors, what do you mean by that?
Like solve economic factors in all the world.
Okay, but solving economic factors, I think you mean solving economic problems. Right? But that is what Alex already mentioned. Alex already talked about solving economic and social problems. So if you say that, then you will be repeating.
Okay.
So what else can we say? What else can we say?
Maybe the economic growth is like human evolution.
Okay. Economic growth is part of humans' evolution, maybe.
Yeah.
But why is it more important than the environment? Any other ideas, maybe? To be honest, I think it would have been easier to just go for the environment, right? There are usually many more things to say about the environment and why we should prioritize it over economic growth. But if we already choose economic growth, could you maybe think of other of some ideas?
Teacher, and economic growth could create new jobs, new and decent jobs in
Okay.
companies, and give more people or most of people with a big economic growth a decent lifestyle and a decent and a good way to live, to eat,
Exactly.
to work, and everything.
Okay, I like that. Yes, we can say that. So we can say, besides the fact that economic growth is the only path to solving serious social and economic issues we're facing, it is widely known that, es ampliamente conocido, sabido que, and now you add your own reason, right? Which needs to be different, because if it's not, then you're just being reductive. So yes, we can say it is widely known that when an economy grows, when a country's economy grows, the overall quality of life is improved.
Improved, higher maybe.
Right? Yes, we can say so. Yeah. Perfect. So that's it, right? It has to be something simple. You're not elaborating yet on the idea. You're just mentioning the idea very briefly. So besides the fact that by growing our economies, we're going to solve all of these urgent problems, we can say it's widely known that when a country's economy, the overall quality of life is improved. Now that's it. Those are the three first elements. We start by stating which student we agree with. We continue by summarizing that student's point, and we add to that point one more reason of our own. And now you guys need to talk about the other student, the student that you guys don't agree with, student B, in this case, Susan. And what you're going to do is something like this. You're going to say, well, Susan has a good point when she says that we only have one planet, let's say. But, and then you need to challenge it. You need to counter argue that point. Say something that is more relevant, more important, or something that maybe challenges that point. No, look, que objete ese punto. So maybe you can say, Susan has a good point or a good idea when she says that, I don't know, we only have one planet. However, it's important to know that, and here you need to say something that maybe counter-argues or objects that. So maybe you can say, however, it's important to know that, I don't know, let's say with new technologies and innovations, let's say, encouraged by economic growth, future generations will be able to better or will be better equipped to solve the climate crisis, for example, or maybe to look for other planets to live in, right? Maybe you can say something like that. So it has to be something that counter argues what Susan says. So we're going to say Susan has a good point. Susan tiene un buen punto. We're going to admit Susan has a good point when she says that we only have, or let's say, the Earth is the only home we have now. Okay. So Susan has a good point when she says that the Earth is the only planet, the only home we have now. La Tierra es el único hogar que tenemos por ahora. And now we're going to object that. We're going to say, however, sin embargo, it's important to know that, and we need to look for a point that counter argues that. However, it's important to know that, let's say, with new technologies and innovations, made possible by, let's say, by a strong economy, future generations will be able to solve the environmental crisis, or even find, or perhaps, or maybe even find a different planet humans can inhabit, right? So this point is kind of counter-arguing what Susan says, right? The Earth is the only home that we have now. Yes, that's true, but maybe we can say it's too late anyway, you know? However, it's important to know that, we can even add, right? We can say it's important to know that right now, we are not well equipped to make drastic changes for protecting the environment. With new technologies and innovations made possible by a strong economy, though, future generations will be able to solve future generations will be able to solve the environmental crisis, or maybe even find a different planet humans can inhabit. Oh, entonces, ahora sí estamos completamente desafiando ese punto, ¿no? Dice Susan, este es el único planeta que tenemos, but we're saying it's too late anyways. Right now we can't do anything because we are not well equipped, ¿no? However, it's important to know that right now, or that currently, actualmente, we're not well equipped to make drastic changes for protecting the environment. Ahorita no estamos bien equipados para lograr cambios significativos, tal vez en vez de drastic, significant changes for protecting the environment. However, with new technologies and innovations made possible by a strong economy, con las nuevas tecnologías e innovaciones que van a ser posibles gracias a una economía fuerte, sin embargo, future generations will be able to solve the environmental crisis, or maybe even find a different place for humans to inhabit. Different planet for humans to inhabit. And that's it, right? Look at how I am counterclaiming what Susan said. Es muy importante tomar en cuenta siempre lo que dicen los estudiantes, porque esa es la forma en la que ustedes demuestran que han entendido el contenido y que están siendo parte integral de la discusión, ¿no? No están simplemente dando su opinión por separado. It's really important that you guys try to do this. Obviously, this doesn't have to be this long. Yo lo hice bastante largo porque consideré que era importante mencionar ciertas cosas, pero una oración es más que suficiente. ¿Ok? Si lo dejan acá, igual está perfecto. ¿Ok, chicos? Una oración es suficiente. Muy bien. So that's your idea, right? And then you need to continue elaborating on your ideas. Tienen que continuar elaborando o desarrollando sus propias ideas, sus ideas propias. Ahora ya no se enfocan en lo que dijo ni Susan ni antes. Es decir, hablan de sus ideas. Por ejemplo, pueden hablar de quality of life being improved, cómo la calidad de vida crece, o pueden hablar de esta parte de acá, ¿no? Cómo las generaciones futuras van a poder resolver los problemas ambientales. Pueden dar ejemplos, you can give examples if you want, you can give facts. Por ejemplo, en este caso estamos diciendo, future generations will be able to solve the environmental crisis. Maybe we can say, for example, let's say, the leading countries, or let's say, for example, Russia, China, and the US are the countries that provide, let's say, are the countries that provided the most funding for scientific research and technologies oriented towards environmental protection in 2021, right? This was only possible thanks to their great economic growth of the past few decades. ¿No? Entonces, en este ejemplo, menciono datos específicos, ¿verdad? No necesariamente son ciertos, me los estoy inventando, ¿no? Incluso podría dar datos más precisos, podría decir Russia, China, and the US provided over, let's say, $3 billion in 2021 for funding scientific research and technologies aimed towards solving the environmental crisis. Right? So I'm making that up. I'm completely making it up. Estoy inventando ese dato. Pero lo importante es que sean específicos, ¿no? Que den detalles, ¿no? ¿Qué países, cuándo, dónde, cuánto? So you need to give those details, and your examples need to be related to what you're saying. Obviamente los detalles tienen que estar relacionados a lo que dijeron, ¿no? Dijimos que gracias al desarrollo económico se desarrollan tecnologías e innovaciones que van a resolver el problema ambiental. Exactamente eso estoy diciendo acá, ¿no? Los países más desarrollados económicamente son los que más dinero dan para research and technologies for solving the environmental problem. ¿No? You can be as specific as you want, but you need to make sure that you give some details, at least some details. Okay, guys? And then I say, any questions so far? Is it all clear so far? Okay, guys, and that's it. Then you have the last sentence, which is going to be your conclusion for this short passage, for this short paragraph. And in your conclusion, you guys are going to directly answer the question. Van a responder a la pregunta directamente. La pregunta, volvemos a ver, era, if you had to choose between prioritizing economic growth or the environment, which one would you pick and why? So decimos, this is the reason, this is why I feel that. If I had the choice, I would totally prioritize economic growth. ¿No? Yes. Estoy respondiendo la pregunta directamente. I would totally prioritize economic growth. Y además, estoy tratando de hacerlo lo más seguro posible, ¿no? Totally. Strongly prioritize. I'm not in the middle. No estoy al medio. No estoy diciendo, priorizaría el crecimiento económico, pero tal vez también hay que considerar el ambiente. No. I'm completely towards one of the ideas. Okay, guys? And that's it. That is your response. Okay? Como les había dicho, no es necesario que sea tan larga. Entonces, por ejemplo, aquí podemos eliminar estas oraciones. Podemos también eliminar esta otra oración. No pasa nada. Pero tiene que tener estos elementos. Okay? Is it okay? Do you guys have any questions? ¿Entiende la idea?
Yes, teacher, but I got a question. Oh, a little question, a really small question. It's about if could I write instead of in the part of maybe even find a different planet humans. Maybe could I say maybe find at least a different planet humans can not. Is it also valid?
Sorry, find at least different.
At least.
What did you say? Find at least different places humans can inhabit?
Maybe find at least, or at least find a different planet humans can know.
Yes, but at least significa al menos, ¿no? Entonces, cuando
Sí.
estás diciendo que tal vez van a encontrar más de un solo planeta, ¿no? Entonces sí puede ser. Ok.
Yeah,
Aquí más bien dije,
para reforzar
sí,
my
yeah,
choice is stronger.
yeah. Because yes, I get what you mean. It will be stronger if I say they will totally find a different planet that we can inhabit, or even stronger if I say they will at least find one planet that we can inhabit. So that means that they will find even more than one. So yes, you can do it to make your point stronger, for sure. Yes. Any other question? Okay, guys. So let's count how many words we have. I'm pretty sure that we must have around 270 at least. I'm sorry, 170 at least. So as I told you, they say that 100 numbers is okay, it's ideal. So 100 words, sorry. You don't really have to have so many things. Let's see. We're going to delete these portions in parentheses so that we are not having them. Okay, and let's see how many words we have written. Let's word count, please. So yes, you see, I was counting about that, 171 words. If you guys have 120, 150, it's perfect. So as I told you, maybe you can eliminate this sentence here and even eliminate this other sentence, and I think it will still be fine. Let's see. Right, 124, perfect. Okay, guys. So, any questions, any other questions? Okay, guys. So in that case, we're going to practice a little bit. I'm going to give you guys another example, but this time you will try to write your own responses. Since it's only 10 minutes, then you should be able to at least get half of the post done. Let's take a look. Okay, guys. So I sent you the link to this document. Please open it. It's the practice that we're going to do. Remember what I told you. Don't read the instructions. No lean las instrucciones. Ya saben qué hacer ustedes. No lean la introducción del profesor. Directamente váyanse a la pregunta que acá está en bold, en negritas. No lean completamente las opiniones de sus compañeros. Simplemente escaneen el texto, ¿no? Para identificar cuál es la opinión de cada uno de ellos y cuál es la razón que ellos dan. Y finalmente, you can write your essays, your posts, perdón. Okay, guys, aquí está el template, aquí están los elementos. You can type them in a different Word doc if you want. You can type them in a Google Doc, whatever you want to type them. But in 10 minutes, you guys will have to send that to me. So you will have to copy and paste it here in the Zoom chat. So make sure that it's on your computers. Okay? Escriban en algún lugar en su computadora y luego lo van a copiar y pegar en el chat de Zoom para que podamos analizarlo. Okay, guys? So starting now, you get 10 minutes to do this task. If you have questions, let me know. I'll be right here. I'm not gonna go anywhere. So just feel free to ask me if you have any questions. Yes. Okay, guys, time's up. So please, you can copy and paste your posts into the chat and send them to me, please. We can take a look at some of them. Oh, can you guys please send me your posts or what you were able to write so far? Nobody is going to send your. Okay, great. So we have Walters.
Thanks, teacher. I'm still having few problems with my timing
Okay.
because I go really slow, but I try my best.
Okay. Can you please share the or change the settings so that everybody who has the link can enter?
Of course.
Don't worry, guys, don't worry for the timing part. It's something that takes just practice. I would say that's all it is, just practicing and every time trying to reduce the time. And obviously not trying to make it too perfect and leaving some time to check the post. But this is going to be your first time, so of course that you won't be able to have everything done. So, okay, let's take a look at what. So it says, okay, I completely support Mike's opinion, all right? You agree with Mike that advertising is ethical, is okay. Besides the fact that companies use information about potential consumers to know better what they need, okay, to know what they need better, exactly, that's what Mike said, right? That companies use targeted advertising in order to offer relevant products to their potential customers. And now you needed to add your own idea. It is widely known that they always ask for consent of their users and don't even find out extremely personal information to target them. Great. I love this, but I think you need to be careful with the content. You have two ideas here, right? The first idea is that they always ask for consent. However, I wouldn't use this idea here. Why? Because Mike already mentioned it, right? Mike says, plus we can always opt out of targeted advertising by adjusting our privacy settings. So I wouldn't try not to use this idea because it's something Mike already mentioned, but I would totally use the second one. I think it's a great one to use. It's widely known that they don't even find out extremely personal information, right? I like that idea, but try not to repeat and make sure you always see and check if you're not repeating your idea. But it's a good start, I'd say.
Okay, thank you. I'll start completing the rest right now tonight, teacher, because I did like this writing exercise. I really did.
Okay, it's nice. And yes, you guys will have another assignment for this question as well, just like the one we had before. But let's see what we have here. It says, I completely support Mike's opinion. Besides the fact that targeted advertising is a great way to find products that you want or need at the best prices in some cases. Okay, this is what Mike said. All right, so consumers save money. Do they say that? Yes, offer lower prices. Okay. It is widely known that when people have this type of advertisings, they feel more comfortable and attracted to the website that shows targeted advertising. Okay, not bad. So it's, yeah, I like the fact that it's a different idea. You're not repeating. So consumers feel more comfortable and attracted to the website that shows targeted advertising. Okay. So you're talking about another benefit for the companies, right? That people are more attracted to the platform where they see the advertising. I like it. I think it's a good reason. Careful with the grammar part, the website that shows, right? Careful with the verbs. They have to be conjugated according to the subject. Now, Jessica has a good point when she says that targeted advertising is an invasion of privacy. However, it is important to note that this could be dangerous, or it could be dangerous, when advertisers are allowed to know a lot of information about us and what we like. Okay, I like it. Maybe here, instead of saying when she says that targeted advertising is an invasion of privacy, I would say can sometimes be an invasion of privacy. Because if you say that she is right when saying that it is an invasion of privacy, then you're kind of counter-arguing your own point, ¿no? Estás yendo en contra de lo que tú mismo estás diciendo que es ético. Entonces podríamos decir, es verdad que algunas veces puede ser an invasion of privacy. Pero, y aquí continúas con esa idea, ¿no? It is only dangerous, this is only dangerous when they are allowed to know a lot of information about us and what we like. For example, Canada and South Korea designed software to protect more the privacy of the customers, increasing the security on the website showing and advertising if the website is a safety place. Okay, and showing and advertising if the website is a safety place. Está muy bien. Tal vez un comentario con cuanto al ejemplo sería, asegúrense de que su ejemplo esté directamente relacionado a lo que dijeron antes. En este caso estamos diciendo que es solamente peligroso cuando conocen mucha información. Aquí tendría que tener más relación con esa idea. Podríamos decir algo más aquí, ¿no? Podríamos decir, it's only dangerous when they know a lot of information, but let's say governments are working on protecting users' privacy, are already working on protecting the important users' information, ¿no? Y ahora sí estaría directamente relacionado, porque ya estamos mencionando países que están trabajando en proteger la información relevante, la información muy privada, ¿no? De los usuarios. Entonces, tal vez algo así. Siempre traten de que este ejemplo que van a dar esté directamente relacionado con la idea que dijeron antes. Entonces, alguna idea para completar esa relación. Pero está muy bien. Muy bien esta respuesta también. Okay, guys. So what do you think so far? Don't worry if you haven't practiced too much, if I haven't been able to see your responses. We're going to have a practice for this, and I'll give you feedback. So don't worry about that. But what questions do you guys have? Do you have any questions, any comments before we go? Okay, guys, perfect. Then please don't forget to the daily survey before you go. And I'm going to see you guys next week. But check out the WhatsApp chat because I'll be sending the instructions for your assignment for this question. You guys?
Teacher, I was wondering if you could go once again, please, to my task and read a little bit that I advanced.
Okay, yeah, Walter, sure. So we have, it is widely known that they don't even find out, okay? And it is a good way to understand everything. Okay, maybe you can send it to me, Walter, please, because I don't know if we have time and I have another class. But if you send it to me, I'll be able to give you some feedback.
Oh, okay, teacher.
Okay. Hey guys, thank you so much. Then see you next class.
Thank you, teacher. I'll send you to your
My
WhatsApp
one,
number.
please.
Is it good?
Yes, it's okay. Don't worry.